So apparently, you can go live on LinkedIn. That's weird. That's very weird. My lips are a little bit chapped. But anyways, let me see. It's funny. Let's see. Let's see what that looks like. Let me just show you. Let me share screen. Let me share audio. Okay, cool. I'll share the entire screen. Cool. So this just goes to show. Oopsie daisy. Exit solo layout. Anyways, I'll figure out how to ta 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 ta. That's what I want. Can I move this? Can't tell na kesho. Got it. Ooh. Perfect. So I'm figuring this shit out live. Oh wow, there's 3 people here already. Crazy. Let's see. I like when you will appear on the screen during the stream. Keep the conversation going. Make your audience part of the experience. So I'm trying to do this thing where I don't know if you guys can. Who is even on this stream? Let's see what this looks like. Interesting. I'm figuring out these things as we go. Infinite loop. Okay, cool. This is all very interesting. I think if you can hear me, can you like give me a thumbs up or something? Like comment or give me a thumbs up, anything. Just give me something so that I know you can hear me. Audio works. It actually shows up. That's really cool. Okay. Okay. Let's go see what this looks like on LinkedIn. Because apparently you can stream on LinkedIn. Apparently you can stream on LinkedIn. And also let me how do you share? View on YouTube. So how do you even see these things? Crazy. Anyways, yeah. All right. So I'm figuring this shit out as we go. Yeah, so this is not going to be the most professional stream. Because I do not know what's going on here. I'm learning as we go. I'm now sharing that I am live. to people so that they see that we're live, so that we can now start talking about this process. I wish I could see who's on the live, because I'm seeing there's one person who's on YouTube. Okay, they're gone. And there's 6 people who are on Twitter. But I don't know who it is. And I don't know if I can be heard. But I think from the audio feedback, I've been able to hear myself. So I guess it works. I just have to have faith, right? Worst case scenario, it's not working. And yeah, what should I do? Let me just share. Let me just share this on my WhatsApp so that people who don't sleep like me can hop on the call, and then we can quickly get started. Quickly get started. If you are here for the first one, you can see that we have improved, and that's what we call rapid iteration, because the first stream was today earlier in the afternoon, right? We are live once again. Join the movement. Lol. It sounds like I'm starting a cult and recruiting for it. But no worries, no worries, no worries, no worries, no worries. No worries, no wahala, no wahala, no wahala, no wahala, no wahala. No wahala, no wahala, no wahala. That's crazy. I can like see my own like stream. That's very, very interesting. Sijui kantaona kesho. Oh, we have hit 250 followers. That's so cool. Oh wow, it's right there. Like I'm viewing like you can see, like I don't know if you guys can see. Okay, let me move this. Let me have this. Oops, see daisy. Let me have this here so that I can see what is happening. Remove that so that it's all right. So I don't know if it's visible. No, not venye. Oops. Well, my screen is off now. My screensaver is a cat because I love cats. June. Okay, my cat is asleep over there. I don't know if I'll be able to show you. Nimemwamsha. Oye, maskini. I don't know if because I can't let this disconnect. But June is like, okay, so okay, you won't be able to see because this thing has the virtual background thingy. I don't know if I can switch that off. Okay, we are digressing. Let me just focus on the stream. Just track my face. Great. Very professional setup. I have no idea why. All right. Okay, cool. Okay. I hope I'm not losing you guys, but okay, fine. Let's do what we're here for. It's been a good 9 minutes of me just figuring out how this thing works, but now we have a cleaner, better looking dream, and hopefully you can hear me clearly and you're not hearing the background. I hope this door closed. Yeah, okay, cool. So hopefully you can hear me clearly and we're able to go ahead. So apparently, this is shocking to me. I didn't know that LinkedIn has, like a streaming feature. This is very interesting to me. This is very, very interesting to me. Because LinkedIn has a stream feature. That's mad. That's mad. It can't tell na kesho. Let me see if I can make this a bit larger. Make that 1. A bit larger maybe. Okay, that's good. That's good. Save. Update layout. Okay, cool. I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. I wish this was my house. Like if I had a house that had a piano like that. Anyways, we're getting there. We're getting there. First we have to build, then we get a house like that. So let's get right into it. So shaping. What is shaping? So if you have never heard the word shaping when it comes to a product, a digital product, let me introduce you to the book Shape Up. So Shape Up is a book by Basecamp. By now you will have gotten the theme that I am obsessed with Basecamp. I love the way they build, and to be very, very honest with you, I am trying to model a lot of the way I'm building my company on the way they do their stuff, right? I love their stuff. I think their stuff is revolutionary, and it's like so simple. It's insane that it's insane that not more people are doing the same thing. To me, at least. So I am going to try and preach the gospel to the world. Chebet, you can hear you clearly. Woo, woo. Thanks, Chebet. Ushaanza fanya kazi ya marketing. Okay, cool. That's awesome. There's 13 people on this stream. Oh, so I guess Twitter is a better platform for the stream, because earlier I only had the stream on YouTube, and I think maximum was 7 people who came on board. Now there's no one on YouTube, and like all of you guys are on Twitter, which is quite interesting, quite interesting to me at least. This is how I don't want to work, because I'm I'm avoiding the work. Like I just want to yap. Like, would you guys allow me to yap? Like, am I allowed to just yap and not do work? Because it's late, man. I should be sleeping. But I wanted to go over this real quick, so that I introduce you to the concept, and then I can go and do my work in peace, and then I can come back and then walk you through my work, right? Because I'm very, very, like, it's been a long day. I've been up from 2 a.m., maybe 3 a.m. Let's call it 3 a.m. Let me see. Okay, even my watch is dead. Damn. I've been up from 3 a.m. because I think if you check my tweet, I think the earliest tweet today was like at bloody 3 a.m. And it's because I have a problem. I'm an addict to work. And my brain works in a way that when I am interested in something, it will not let me sleep. I'll be awake for a very, very long time, and I'll just be thinking about the thing I'm trying to do. Okay, cool. Guess who quit his job? Okay, cool. So 20 hours. Yeah, 4 or 5 a.m. So if 4 or 5 a.m. I was tweeting, it means that I was up at 3. I was up at 3, guys. 3 bloody a.m. I don't know if you can see this 4 or 5. Like, I was up at 4 or 5. 4 or 5 a.m. That's my first tweet, I think. 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Oh, wow. I might actually have been tweeting much earlier than. Okay, June 23. Okay. And I was tweeting at 9:47 p.m. and I was still tweeting like 3:41. Now we're getting to the real meat of this, right? So at 3:41, I was still tweeting, which is insane. It's quite insane. I don't understand how my brain works. It's crazy. But my brain is like driven to do something. I just go. I think now we have like a good number of people, and I've been yapping for a good 15 minutes. So let me deliver what you came here for, so that I can let you go sleep, right? First things first. This is a video, and the internet never forgets. So let me do that on a tweet. I don't want my face to be quoted. So I'll do that on a tweet. So let me not now. Let me not incriminate myself. Um, let's do what we came here to do. Cool. So Basecamp is a really cool company. You should look at their products. If you're a team, if you work for, we are 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 people at the company that you work for. Basecamp is perfect for running your projects. So here at Akonga, we use a combination of Basecamp and something called Linear. Yeah. You can read more about that on, like, there's a blog post that Charity wrote on our blog, so you can read more about that there. But like, we use Basecamp, right? So Basecamp, we have a home base, and then we have a place for company management, and then we have a project for we are working with Fred. Fred is our designer, to build out a design system, so that once we start shipping, we're just running, right? So we're able to have a repeatable design system that you can use for multiple products, because this is a lab. This is not a single product company, right? So we build a product, we test it. You can see how much I use Figma. You can build a product. You can. So this is stuff from my previous employer. This demos. They're doing really cool stuff. You should check them out. But what was I saying? Design system. So we'll have one system, and then we'll be able to churn out multiple products with the same system, right? So that's what Fred has been working on, right? So we're able to use Basecamp to track all that. So this is really cool for companies. And then I also have this cool thing where we don't have any meetings or whatsoever. Like, at least meetings are for fun and for clarifications and for unblocking. So typically we don't have meetings for like work, right? We are fully asynchronous, fully remote. If you're not familiar with what asynchronous work is, async work, GitLab, I think. GitLab have done a great job. So they've done a great job on explaining and elaborating what asynchronous and nonlinear working looks like, and how to make the best of it. And they have like a whole group of stuff here. So if you're on this live stream and you want to come work for Akonga, because we are hiring, it's just not out in the public, right? If you come in and you notice our gaps, you notice somewhere you can deliver, you should be figuring out how to solve that problem. And if you can do that job better than me or someone on my team, then I will consider you. I do not guarantee you a job, but I'll give you a fighting chance, right? I'll give you a fighting chance. So asynchronous work. So if you're going to work for Akonga, you need to be a good writer. Writing is part of our DNA. So you'll notice that we've been alive. Today is Wednesday. Just got to Wednesday. So we were alive from Monday last week, Tuesday. So 5 days last week and 2 days this week. And just to show you that we don't talk about our culture, we live our culture, right? So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, there's an automated question to the team, and everyone answers on what they've been doing. So I'm the only one who's not been diligent because I've been out there raising money, and I come home and I'm tired. But like, if I want to come see what people have been up to, I'm able to come just scroll this one page, and I'm able to see what everyone has been up to, right? So like Fred has been working on the design system. And he's been exploring topics for his first article. Like I said, everyone is a writer at Akonga. It is required that you are writing articles when you're at Akonga. And then he also got onboarded. Like GatherTown. He really likes Gather. If you don't know what GatherTown is our virtual office, right? So let me just walk you through that real quick. Load. If you want me to talk about anything in particular as I move, so just leave a comment and I'll do the thing. Yeah, I'm becoming one of those people. Just make a comment up a box. Lol, I never thought I'd become a streamer. But the things we do for our companies. Also, we are a very healthy working space, which means that I encourage everyone to leave the office at 5 and be in the office at like 10. Though there's no hard limits, right? Because it's asynchronous work. You work matches your life and not the other way around. We do not live to work, we work to live. So we do our jobs just enough up with the best of our skill to be able to enjoy our lives. So our primary focus in our lives is not our work. Our work is a complementary part of our lives, right? So that's a big part of the ethos of Akonga Labs, right? So we are not going to be overworked here. We are Gen Z, tunapenda soft life. Yeah, I am Gen Z. I was born in 1999. I am 26 years old. I'm on the fringes. I'm on the fringes of Gen Z, but I'm right there. So yeah, this is our office. Ooh, Charity has upgraded her desk. That's really cool. If you're in the earlier stream, I gave Charity some plug for not customizing her desk, because her desk was like white, like Fred's. It seems she took it to heart, and she went and she went to town. She even put a mini fridge next to her desk. So I really love this thing because it feels like a game, right? Because you have an avatar and you can move your avatar around. Like right now, I can say I want to go work from Charity's desk, and I just go sit at Charity's desk, and she can't remove me. Like if she comes and I'm seated here, she just has to see someone else. like in real life, right? You can't like just walk on top of them and then kick them out. So it's a really cool piece of software, honestly. And I'm in contact with them to improve it, because they did a customer survey, and they're in touch with us. So I have a person on the growth team who is getting my feedback all the time about how this thing is working. And it's a really cool piece of software. And like you can walk into a meeting room and you sit down, and then bada bing bada boom, you enter a meeting. It's so cool. And then when you're done with a meeting, this is a very fun part of it. You click back to my desk, and then there's a really cool animation that will play. Just watch. So if the office was bigger, the guy would even get a small car, and you'd see him zooming in his little car. And I find it so fascinating. But yeah, we have small meeting rooms. We have 4 of them at our office. We have a big meeting room. So let's say we are hosting someone who's coming to give a speaker session, and there are like a few guests in the office. Actually, you can join the office as a guest. Like you can, if I want you to come, it's basically like an office. If I want you to come and say hi at the office, there's a link I send you, and you can be able to come in as a guest and attend a meeting and then leave, or walk around the office. It's such a cool concept. And you can sit in communal places. So I can come and sit in this co-working area, or I can go sit outside. You have a little fish pond outside, and I can come like sit here and just work from here. And then Charity can come sit next to me, and we can talk about a project that we're working on. And then when I don't want to be disturbed, I can go to my desk. Oops. I can go to my desk, or even whatever desk actually, and then I can change my status to busy. That way, so a few things happen when you change your status to busy. Typically, when you're not busy, you can hear people talking around you. So now when you set it to busy, you no longer hear people talking around you. And then also, just people are aware that you're doing something, that you don't want to be interrupted, so they can leave you alone, even if that's taking a nap. But if you're taking a nap, we encourage you to just leave the office, right? To go take your nap. You don't have to feel like you're pretending to work. We know that life happens, and I normally need midday naps all the fucking time. So if you're not working, just leave the office, right? If you're working, be in the office. If you're working not on deep things, and you are okay with being disturbed, set your status to active. But if you're busy and you just want to be in the office, you set yourself to busy, right? So that we can trust that what we are seeing is the truth. This whole time I don't know if I'm yapping alone. Can you guys send comments or something? Make me feel like I'm not here alone. If people are watu wa YouTube, nataka watu wa YouTube warudi. Watu wa YouTube walikuwa wananitumia comments at least. Nyinyi hamtumi comments. Wacha. Amnibambi. Wacha kwanza acha nitafute kama watu watakuja kutoka YouTube. Nyinyi amnibambi. Let me see if I can get. But it's okay. Let me just do the thing I came here for. I didn't come here for comments. I came here to show you guys this process. But I like comments. Anyways. So this book is really awesome. It's Charity hatuwezi msahau. Thank you. You see, one comment and it's making me happy. Thank you. Thank you, Jezreel. I've noticed you on both streams. Now you're on my mind. Now you're on my mind. So now if you make an application for a job, now I like you. Now I like you. So that's how you befriend someone. Anyways. Shape up. The idea is like this image here basically summarizes the concept, right? So you start with a fuzzy blob, you don't know what it is, and then you kind of give it a fuzzy shape, and then you take a section of it and you complete it all the way through, and then you keep doing that until it's done. And that basically summarizes the entire cybersecurity in it. Oh yeah, we actually don't have cybersecurity person. I'm the cybersecurity person. Like I'm done with doing all the security for our software. So I actually need a dedicated cybersecurity person at some point. Maybe not a full-time role, but like you can consult, you can come in, do an audit and get paid and then walk out. But eventually when we are running like a lot of stuff, we will need a dedicated person. Right now, I'm done with doing all that. Like right now, I'm the designer. I'm the UX designer, because actually what you're working through today, not today, like right now, because we already had a stream today, but what you're working through in this session is UX design, right? So I do UX design, I do UI design, I do front end, I do back end. I'm the DevOps guy, I'm the marketer, I'm doing sales, I'm doing marketing, I'm doing pricing, like I'm doing everything, right? And the goal is to have people come in and replace so that I can go on holiday and my company is still running, right? Because that's the whole point of owning a company. You sleep and people work. But we are heading that direction. It will be a while before we get there because the early days are very delicate and you need to be very hands-on to make sure that things are going on in the direction you want. So by the time you're leaving, you've set the culture, not with your mouth, but with your actions, right? I tell them to talk about our product all the time. I'm doing streaming. I tell them to talk about our product all the time. I'm yapping on Twitter all the time about our product. I tell them to write. I have written more articles than all of them combined. I tell them to ship code. I'm pretty sure that my GitHub is more green than anyone in the company, right? So the goal as a founder is to walk your talk, which reminds me, I have to review some of those bounties that were submitted, but we'll get there, right? But the goal as a founder, so you see, this is me, right? I'm probably the most green, and these days that are not green, it's the days I was looking for money or I was quitting my job. But yeah, so as a founder, you need to walk your talk because people don't follow your words, they follow your action. And if your actions differ from your words, then now you start creating mistrust. You start thinking you're trying to exploit them. Maybe that's not your intention, but like it is what they get and what they feel, and people don't care about intentions. They care about how you make them feel. Anyways, walk your talk, walk your talk. If you're here and you're planning to be a founder, walk your talk, walk your talk, walk your talk. Cool. So I'm going to jump the introduction and I'm going to go straight into the principles of shaping, right? Because that's what I'm going to, like, this book is free and it's online. It's called Shape Up. You can look it up. It's a really cool book if you want to learn how to like kind of do UX work. It's a really, my laptop is dying, my lord. Okay. By the way, laptop ni useless. Mtu kaa uko na laptop better, hebu niambie, nitanunua. But hapana, my framework is coming. So I'll be fine soon. But anyways, this laptop, my baby, my original baby, who was very good for me. This is my baby. She has like the charging has issues. So when she has power, she says she doesn't have power. And that makes me so sad. You see how I've adorned her, right? Because sticker from my wife. Yani whenever I see this, I'm like, I am loved. I'm so sad. I'll take this sticker away and put it in the new laptop. So I have a laptop that's coming in from the US. If you know the company called Framework, that's the laptop I'm getting. If you don't know the company called Framework, shame on you. Go look it up. Cool. I have ADHD and it's at night. I am going to digress. So, if you're here for a focused, like sharp focused, wait for the blog post. Don't watch the stream. Anyways, I went to that's I went to a place and I bought this I think it's called kombucha. Yeah, it's kombucha. Because I've always been curious. I've been seeing them in the shops. I've never touched one. I'm like, let me just take a kombucha and see what that's about. These things are spicy. And it's blueberry. Nasijasikia blueberry so far. Mimi nimedanganywa. Anyways. Yeah, move on. So cool. So in the concept of shaping, right? You want something that is, so you remember you're starting from abstract and you're trying to move towards concrete, but you don't want to get all the way to concrete. So I'll elaborate on what that means. But wireframes, I know if you're in the tech world, you know what a wireframe is. If you're not, it's very easily Googleable. And I'll do that for you because I'm a nice person. I'm not a nice person. I just need a way to explain. I like explaining with visuals. Cool. So this is a wireframe, right? Where you kind of already know what the interface looks like, and it's very close to a high fidelity design. It's very, very close. But when you give this to a designer, they kind of take like you've given them this is the law. So they follow it like it's the law. They don't try to innovate on it. They don't try to add anything extra. They behave like you give them a law and they have to implement it. So this is too concrete, right? When you're thinking about shaping. And then words, ideally, when by the time you're getting to the end of the shaping process, they are too abstract. So you need somewhere in between. Now they talk about this dot grid calendar, and they walk you through the process of this is what the shaping thing looked like, and then this is what it ended up looking like, and they walk you through the process, right? How to shape, who shapes, and all the steps, right? So I'll just jump all of that because this is on the internet. You can look at it. You can read more about the process. It is available for you, right? So I'll just jump straight into, Fred has been doing some work. Love to see it. Love to see it. Fred is our designer. Love to see it. Love to see it. I mean, love to see it. Napenda watu wanajitumanga. Love to see it. Love to see it. So he's been doing some really good stuff here, really, really good stuff. He even like brought a whole, all these icons. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. He's, defining the different rounded corners we can have, very good stuff. Yeah. So Fred, makofi yako. Fred works for us and for Techno. And he's doing a really cool job over at Spacia Tech. So if you know about Spacia Tech, but if you don't know about Spacia Tech, let me just give you a quick. Yeah, I really don't want to work. You see me digressing this much. Nataka tu kwenda kulala. But now you're the ones who came here. I didn't ask you to come here, so you're going to have to listen to me up. So Fred was tweeting ako wapi? Hey, Fred. Bana nimeongelesha watu. Fred was let me see if there's any highlight. Kindly proceed with her. I'm not looking for such a solution. You accept the request. Hi, Adrian. Maybe in the next 2 months. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Hank. Okay. Nothing incriminating. So Fred was he posted that he was helping founders. By the way, you need another gen like me. Just 19 learners become that cracked employee. Me, I want to see projects. Staki stories za jaba. Mesikia Jizril. Nataka so show me something you've done. Show me what you've done. Show me something you put out into the world. Show me how it impacted someone, and then we'll talk about being an employee, right? Staki yati I will learn. Okay, so you go do something, and then come show me what you've done and show me how it can help solve my problems, right? That's how you create value. That's how you get people who are busy to talk to you. You don't come asking them to solve your problems. You come with a solved problem and you ask them for tactical advice on how to move forward, and they value you better as a result, right? Fred hadi aliongeza Akonga Labs, lakini Akonga Labs hatuna page, so kijana ameuma nje. But so I actually should create that just before someone creates it. How do you okay, alafu nione mtu amecreate your page, nitakuchapa. Let me just put this on the side ndo msinione. Just give me a sec. I don't. Let me see. Is there a thing that I can play like some elevator music for you as we wait? Media and assets. As I create the Akonga Labs Twitter page. Okay, cool. So now, Fred, see any new crack, cybersecurity, charity. I can hear you clearly. Okay, cool. So now Fred haja cheesy because now the fuck. Yeah, now if I click on this, there's an actual profile. Cool. We're making progress. At least no one stole that username. Amen. So yeah, I was showing you guys Fred. Fred is our designer. So he works for Techno and he works for us. And he's really good at what he does. He's one of the co-founders of Spacia Tech. If you don't know Spacia Tech, it's a non-profit in Nairobi that helps people get into tech. So it's Spacia Tech. Yeah. So you definitely go check him out, follow him. Mambo, I should delete this tweet because this is I recently learned that having this information publicly is dangerous. But anyways, we're learning as we go. This is the first time I'm starting a company, right? I know jack shit about running a company. So I'm going to make some dumb mistakes as we go, but I'm going to fix them really quick. That's what makes me special. I'm not special, but anyways. Yeah, na nimesahau nilikuwa niseme. Oh, this is linear. I had opened linear to show you guys linear. This is linear. Let me see my employer removed me from this. Okay, yeah, they did. Okay, cool. So this is linear. Contact the illustrator. I'm supposed to contact an illustrator. This very cool illustrator. Bro, this is how I'm normally so. Bro, I digress so quickly. No, that's not stuff you should be seeing. So this cool illustrator, I'm supposed to reach out to them so that they can make. So our product is called our Working Panda, and we're going to have a panda as our mascot. So this cool illustrator, friend of mine, we're supposed to reach out. She's called Nikita. You should check her out. You'll see her work once she comes on board. But she's called Nikita. She does a really great job of her art. She has had her art illustrated in very cool places. Anyways, we were talking about shaping. My brain is gone. Let me just quickly run through this and leave. I go sleep. And yeah, I go sleep. So this is oops. This is how I shape personally, right? So step number one would be, kind of figure out what you're trying to shape. So version 1 of Pomodoro Panda will have logs, a Pomodoro. Not Pomodoro Panda, our Working Panda. Pomodoro Panda is like a product that we built. It's a side project for our Working Panda. So kind of Pomodoro. So to get people who and don't use it, it's deprecated. So if you use it and you lose your data, that's your business. For now, we're going to fix it, but for now, don't use it. But Pomodoro Panda is like a Pomodoro clock. So the idea is people who use Pomodoro are very likely to want our product. So we are going to build a Pomodoro clock. Make it the best Pomodoro clock in the market so that everyone flows that direction. And then here we'll put a big old ad that says, go check out Working Panda. If you like this, you're going to love that. And that's called Engineering as Marketing. And that is by a guy called Carl's Muse. Carl's Muse. Engineering as Marketing. Yeah, so there's this guy writes really great articles about running a software business on the internet, and he is one of the, I have like a few. I have a company building Bible, and he is one book in that Bible, right? As we go through this process, you'll start discovering more and more of those Bibles. So the resources I keep coming back to. So I'll always keep coming back to Carl's Muse if I want to go check something about engineering and rapidly iterating on a SaaS product. I'll keep coming back to Basecamp when it comes to building a team, doing design, kind of figuring out the process of working in a team. They're really good at that. So Pomodoro Panda is an engineering and marketing effort. So the idea is, we build a tool that is free, and then that drives traffic to the main tool. Yeah, so we're going to have logs, the Pomodoro, and a function. So when this is to begin with, Chanza Kusama. This is to begin with targeting engineers, right? And engineers use ticketing systems like Linear, Jira, Trello, all that stuff, right? And it's the way engineers keep track of what they're doing, the plan, the roadmap, etc. Right? So if you see software developers, people for marketing, IT and software development, isn't that the same thing? Anyways, I'm guessing IT is like admin IT. Design and operations people. So these are tools that are used by people in digital companies like Akonga Labs, like Basecamp, and they kind of help you just get like an overview of everything that's happening within the company. So if you have not watched the first stream, go watch it, because I talk about how we are going to enable engineers to work from one place and push out information into all the other places they are needed, and also pull in information from all the other places they're needed. So you never have to leave a Working Panda because that's where you work from, right? That's your personal office. So everything comes to you and you push everything from there. So you technically never ever need to open other tools. Once we have, the full version of this, maybe in like the next year, we could have a version of this that there's a subset of our users who ideally never leave our software when they're working. Like the only source of truth when they're working is our Working Panda. They open, they immediately see that you have been mentioned in a few new issues on GitHub, you've been mentioned on a few new issues on Linear, you have a few Slack messages, you have like that kind of stuff, right? So you're able to like have it as your home base, and you're able to track all your work. And then we even have some fun things. Like I built a little experiment. It's on, like I've deployed it on my GitHub IO. So it's an energy dashboard, right? So I did a test on how to best manage my energy, and I realized that I need environment. So strong protein based fast. I just have literally I just had like beef and naan, like a beef curry with naan with some greens. Protein is very important for me. Natural light ni usiku, hakuna natural light, so hiyo hatuna. Noise cancelling headphones ndio hizo. Cool room temperature is very cool here. It's almost cold. The window is open. Consistent physical location. I always work from my study. So let me see if I can show you guys my study real quick, and then we go back to this beautiful house that I currently live in for virtually. So that's my study, right? Books, other table. This table extends that way, door, and that's the study room, right? So I work from here. I have a desk setup. I've posted it somewhere on my YouTube if you want to see what it looks like. But I have a monitor here, my laptop here. There's a lamp over there. There's a free desk space here. I have my tablet here for design work, together with my pencil that I use for drawing. Headphones case, my keyboard, my mouse, and the camera. So I can't show you the camera because the camera is not recording. But if you are curious, it's a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It's a really nifty tool. And my phone, though I don't use my phone for work, but phone. Yeah. Now I'm digressing. Now I'm basically just showing you, like, my house. Anyways, so I have this notification disabled. Yeah, they're disabled. I have this dashboard, so it kind of tells me that right now I should be preparing to sleep. Right? I should be reading, I should be doing light stretching, I should be planning for tomorrow, and I should be avoiding screens, intense conversations. This is an intense conversation. And complex thinking. Literally, I was telling you how my brain is not working right now, right? Because my brain right now is fried for complex thinking. I am useless to you right now. And I should have done this transition at 10 p.m. Me here at 1 a.m. And why are 34 people on this stream at 1 a.m.? Anyways, problem for another day. And then, it kind of helps me know that for small tasks, I do a 25-minute block. For medium tasks, I do a 15-minute block. For large tasks, I do a 90-minute block. And then the idea is you'll be able to click on this, and then it launches you into a Pomodoro, and you're able to quickly get started, right? It takes, so you kind of you'll have a place where you have your active tasks. So it'll take your latest task, and it'll just throw you into like a working space where you can work on whatever you want to work on. And then ideally, this normally works with breaks. So a 25-minute, 5-minute break, 50-minute, 15-minute break, 90 minutes, 30-minute break. And then the idea is, for me, I typically stay in the same environment. I leave my phone alone. So maybe I pick up a book and I read a chapter. Light movement. So I have like my office is moving because I have a studio outside. Like it's still under construction, but like I'll have a dedicated studio space so that my stuff isn't interfered with. And in that space, I'll have like a standing desk, and I have like a little stepper tool here. So I'll be able to like get up and like kind of move a bit as I read. So light movement, right? And I also have a sofa in this. I'll have a sofa. I'll have my PlayStation there, so I could also just hit up a quick FIFA game and then go back to work, right? And this tool is built for me specifically. And the goal is we'll be able to kind of figure out what you need and build a similar dashboard for you. So you never have to work against your energy patterns. You are very clear on where you are at in terms of your energy. And if you start feeling sleepy, you realize that this will also point the fact that now is normally when you get sleepy. So you should probably do this other task that does not need as much cognitive energy and would make you as sleepy, right? So you're able to optimize the work you're doing for the energy you have. And then the rest down here is just because I was trying to kind of pitch this tool to my team as one of the things that we could build. So I needed to kind of explain what the fuck this was. So this is just an explanation. The tool is up here, right? And it's basically just an energy dashboard. It tells you the time. It tells you, so different people will have different patterns. So for me, I have two patterns. I have pattern A, where we preserve my creativity, and then you have pattern B. So I can share this so that you can read more about those things. But remember, this is for me specifically. This is not for everyone. So ideally, in a Working Panda, we'll kind of have a way to figure out what your patterns are, and then we'll help you optimize your work um, for that particular purpose, right? Oh, so that message has gone to YouTube, and there's no one watching YouTube, surely. So I don't know how to send a message to. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. We're getting better at this streaming thing. So by the time we come back next time, I'll know how to send comments to Twitter. But this will be live on YouTube. Like the video will be posted there once this is done. So you'll be able to go and check the link if you really, really want it. Or alternatively, you can just jump on my GitHub, and it should be there. It should be there. Like the code is here. So this also give you an idea of how I write code, what the expectations I have in terms of like clean code, readable code, etc. How I do commit messages. You'll notice that I do very detailed commit messages, so that I'm able to search through the commit messages and figure out what did what and what broke what. We're also very big on documentation, so this kind of explains to you what this is and all that stuff, how to set it up. So we're very big on like making sure that if I come into the project tomorrow and no one is there to show me how to get it working, I'm able to figure out how to get it working without help from anyone. So that's the litmus test. And I do this from time to time. I clear my machine and I set up everything from scratch, so that I'm always in touch with what it takes to set up our software from scratch, and I'm always optimizing that process, so that whenever a new team member comes on board, or I need to set up a new machine, or just anything, our docs are always fresh and they're always working, right? So just that scout principle, where you leave something better than, like, you leave everything slightly better than you found it, right? So if you walk into this place, on a karatasi, you take the paper, you put it in your pocket, or you take it to the bin, right? So always clean up after yourself. It's a very important principle, and to make sure that your workload later is much smaller. Oh, this is our fifth person. Oh wow! So we have, I don't know if you know, but we have an open source bounty program. Right now, there's only one bounty because I've been busy raising money. It's $200 for this bounty, but then it's negotiable, and the cap is $400. Yet no one has negotiated, which is quite interesting. I expected someone to at least negotiate, but no one has negotiated. I'm like, bet. If you won't negotiate, bet. Um, but I expected someone to like ask for 300. Anyways, whoever wins, I'll just give them 400, because they'll have done a good job. So yeah, so we have an open source program. So if you're new to programming, you want to make some money, or you want to learn how professional programmers write their code, this is a very good place to start. And if you want to go crazy, if you don't want to get started, you want to get going, there is a program. So I'm in talks with, I don't know, when I was on Twitter, let me just show you. I won't go into the messages, but like don't say many stories of Java. I was talking to Sahil. Sahil is the founder of a website called Gumroad. Gumroad is really cool. And Gumroad recently did this thing where they moved all their software open source. So Gumroad, I was talking to Sahil. I wanted him to take me to like invite me up to New York and kind of give me mentorship on how to go about kind of figuring out this startup thing. And he was like, we can have that conversation, but I need you to do something for me. And the thing that he told me to do for him is to push you guys to come here and solve. And yani, tunawalazimisha to make money. Crazy. But there's about almost $100,000 worth of bounties here. Literally all you have to do. And to me, they look doable, honestly. Honestly, they look doable because some of these things are not crazy. Why not for the fact that I've never written Ruby a day in my life? I would try these things because and they're very detailed problems. Like they give you designs, they give you a complete checklist of what's needed. Like they give you everything. You just need to go and like sit down and write code. And if you're making no money, if you spend an entire month of this and you make $5,000, you're making your salary. No one at Akonga is making $5,000 a month. So if you spend a whole month building this and you make 5K, you're making more money than anyone at Akonga Labs, me included. Okay, me included. So I go do this shit. Go make some money. Go do this shit. Clear. Yani Sahil anasema go make money. I take Adrian to New York, and no one has taken me up on the offer so far. It's so sad. I hope you take me up on the offer. Go make the money. And you know what he said? He said if we finish this ones, he has $1 million worth of. Wacha msiseme ni stories za ajabu. Wacha tu niwaonyeshe. I hope he will be comfortable with me sharing our DMs because there's nothing sensitive there. But he said, send them these about 100K worth, and if this get done, I can invent $1 million more. Yani, Sahil is willing to give you $1.1 million worth of bounties. Yani, if you dedicate the next 3 months to learning Ruby on Rails, and then you tackle your first bounty, and then you build momentum second, third, unaweza toka hapo ukiwa na 10 million Kenya shillings. Because 100,000 is 10 million Kenya shillings. Actually more, I think. Yeah, 12 million Kenya shillings. You know, this is enough to set you up for life. Like if you have money like this, let's start with the fact that every month, if you put this in a money market fund, every month you're making 100K, which means that you have financial freedom. You're able to pay your rent, able to buy food, and figure out now your life from there. So you can basically just put this in a money market fund, let it pay all your bills, and then now come back and make another 100K. Yani, it's here. You can become rich tomorrow. But no one is taking me up on it. It's fine. I'll do it myself. Like I said, I'll do it myself. I'll learn Ruby and I'll get the money. Because, if I get this money, we don't need any more funding. I mean, we don't need any more funding now, but like we'll have more money. So like I can plan a trip to Italy for the company. Anyways, because I really want to go to Italy. But I can plan a trip for the entire company to Italy. Anyways, I digressed again. So fucking far. Logs, Pomodoro, linear. So ideally, so I was thinking through the logs, right? So if you, the way I use logs, logs allow you to see your year in terms of weeks. So a single week, and then days, a single day. So we'll have, so ideally to begin with, actually I narrowed this down. To begin with, we'll have only one logboard for work, right? We won't have a personal logboard when you're shipping version 1, because ideally we're trying to keep it as tightly scoped as possible so that we just have a proof of concept. We get a few people on board, we get a few people using, and then we iterate the product with their help. But it needs to be simple, complete, and lovable. It needs to help someone do something meaningful. So I was shaping the works, right? So I was saying, I want to have a page called work logs. And then when you come in, you need to be able to start a new week, right? And so I was asking, so I was doing a few decisions here about what this button, because this is a button, right? What this button entails. And I was like, okay, should we be able to add a backdated week? Like if I skipped last week, can I add logs for last week? And I was like, no, because we are trying to encourage people to live now forward, right? So if you skipped last week, forget about last week. Ignore the backlog, start where you are, because you're starting to log today. So even if you're going to be talking about last week, talk about it today, right? Don't start a week that you never did. So that when you're looking at your logs, you have a clear picture of what was happening, right? When effort was put and when effort was not put. So backlog is ignored. So being able to add a backdated week, we say no. You notice that we say no to a lot of things because that's how we make sure that our product is not bloated and that we, an opinionated product is a product that a user has an easy time working with, right? So, start where today and forget about last week, yesterday, if you didn't log stuff. Ka hukuifanya achana nayo, anza leo. And then once you you start a new week, it shows the week. If the week exists, so we kind of will check what week it is. If the week exists, this button won't be there. If you're coming in on a Monday and the week is starting, that button will be there, right? So if you're on Wednesday and you already started the week, the button not available anymore. But if you're coming in on Wednesday and you've not done anything this week, then that button will be there to start the new week. So that you kind of feel like you're doing the starting, right? Because you're trying to get users having little dopamine hits for actions completed. So then let's say we're on week 22. So I just looked at, I was shaping this work in week 22. So I used week 22. So it was 4 weeks ago, right? And then I was like, okay, so do we want to have 7 days of the week represented? So we have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then they are blank. Or do we want to have today, just today? Again, I had to make a decision about whether we are thinking about backlog and all that stuff. Because, if you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday there, and I only work 1 day a week, then all the rest is unnecessary clutter that a user has to see and kind of figure out what it's about. And that is completely unnecessary. That is a bad UX, right? So I had to choose that, backdated days, we're not doing that. So I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I don't want you to feel like you need to catch up. This tool is supposed to help you feel like you're already caught up, right? So you start today because you're already caught up. So you'll notice that as we go through this product, I made a decision where backlog is an anti-pattern. We never want to think about backlog. We want to, if you're ever thinking about backlog, think about it today. Don't start going back and doing stuff because that will make our product less sticky. So our product is supposed to make you feel like you're already caught up, like you're already where you need to be in terms of your work, right? So backlog is an anti-pattern whenever we're designing anything for this product. We want you to start where you are today. If you feel really, 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 you need to log stuff you did last week on today's notes, put a date, say Friday I did this, put another date, like do it manually. But you're going to be reading those logs as logs for today because logs happen in real time. Logs do not happen, like logs are not backdated or backfilled. If it didn't happen then, it didn't happen then. It's happening now, right? So backlog is not going to exist on our platform. So that when you're coming in, you're already caught up, right? So you're starting to see some of these, thought processes that we're thinking about, right? We're trying to figure out what's the best way to shape a user's journey so that they don't have to figure out a lot on their own. They are kind of directed through the product in a very intuitive manner, and in a way that kind of helps them get the job done. Because this tool is supposed to help you get your work done. And if you come in, the first thing you need to do is fill in 5 days worth of work, then immediately you've hit a roadblock. But if all you have to think about is today, then it's that much easier to get started. And that's what we're trying to help you do. So we have today's logs. You have a button for add today's logs. Again, some little dopamine hits because these buttons are not necessarily doing anything meaningful, but the fact that you're the one initiating the action, you're feeling like you're already working just by using our product, which is a very positive loop mentally because you're already feeling the momentum even before you start. And we are trying to help people get that momentum going very easily so that they're able to keep using our tool. So when you add today's logs, it's ideally a stream of consciousness. So you just write free form, and then you will be able to have to-dos inside there. So you'll be able to use the bracket syntax, and then it'll create like a to-do thing. So the thing we're using the thing I'm considering, I'm not decided, is called TipTap. The TipTap is a open source editor. Oops, TipTap. Let me go to TipTap. tip tap, anapenda tip tap tap. Okay, cool. So tip tap is a open source editor. It's I think it's really cool. So when I say when I say I want there to be able to add to do, so you'll be able to use the bracket syntax, and then when you hit space, it creates a to do, and then you're able to write doing X, Y, Z. That's definitely not X, Y, Z, and that's definitely not doing, but like, yeah. So you'll be, so then when you're done, you can be able to check it off, right? And then just for good UX, it will be green because black does not kind of give you the dopamine you need. So yeah, you'll be able to do stream of consciousness like this. So you'll be able to come in and just write stuff like this. And then once you've written it down, you're like, okay, so in order, I'm supposed to do small task 1, and then small task 2, and then small task 3, right? So that's the flow that we'll be using. Let me zoom in just in case you guys are having a hard time to read this. So, you'll be able to do this, and then, you also be able to do something like that and say add to active tasks on the Pomodoro. But yeah, so yeah, and then once you're done doing all that, you hit submit, and then all of that is just appended onto, the week 22 logs that we created. And that kind of gives you the flow of the logs feature. And just by doing that, we kind of have defined the user experience. This is now the difference between user experience and so this is not the end, but this is the beginning of thinking about user experience, and what that looks like, right? So you're able to kind of shape that stuff, and then once we have that idea, then we're able to now enter into a more not very high fidelity, but like just an idea of what that can look like in practice, right? So you'll have like a card with a work log, and then in the work log, so if the week exists, week. So a big part of this process is that some of this, like if you're doing a good job, someone coming in and looking at this will not make any, like it will be difficult to make sense of it now. And you see, me 4 weeks ago thought this was very intuitive. Me now, I'm like, what? what did I mean here? But that's the nature of this level, this step of shaping, right? It ideally, the people who are in the room when it was being shaped are the ones who will have context. Anyone else will not really have much context on what is going on and what is needed, right? So if the week exists, so does the week exist? No, week has started. And then yes, start week. So this button will only exist if the week has not started. If it has started, you will just have the week 22 as the top item. Same goes for my day. If the day has started, if we already did today, we check today's date, and then we notice that it's the same date as, if you if you check today's date and you notice that there is no date for today in the logs, right? Okay, I'm talking about implementation details when I'm supposed to be talking about just high level stuff. So ideally, if today is Wednesday, and Wednesday I've already started working on it, this button disappears. If today is Wednesday and I don't have anything written for Wednesday, this button exists. So users get that feeling of starting their week by manually having to press a button. Awesome. Bonus points if we have like a little animation or a little thing going on when they press that button. But that's for like version 5. We are on version 0.1. And in doing so, I kind of have shaped the entire logs process, right? So with this, then now we can hand this over to a designer to figure out what that looks like, aka hand it over to me. But we can hand it over to now a UI designer. And okay, maybe it's not complete, but now with this, we can have more fruitful conversations about, what is expected to be on the interface, what should the interface be able to do, and stuff like that. Now we can get into like now the UI and how the UI plays nice with the UX. But ideally, the initial step is to figure out the flows, and then move on. So I think with that, I've kind of introduced you to the topic of shaping. You kind of have an idea of what shaping can look like. It's not a full picture. If you want to get the full picture, I again recommend this book all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. It takes you through the process of going from a fuzzy idea to an idea that has completed parts. And it gives you like a framework that if you keep coming back to, you'll be able to learn how to do that systematically for your own products, right? And with that, I think we can call it a day. We can say that today we've covered what our Working Panda is. That's in the previous stream. And then, so if you go to my YouTube channel, I don't know how you'll find my YouTube channel, but if you go to my YouTube channel, it's Adrian Murage. I think if you search Adrian Murage everywhere, you'll find it. But if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll notice that we covered what our Working Panda is. Our Working Panda is the product that we're building, right? We covered what that is. And then now we've covered what shaping is, and we've shaped one feature. So I'm going to go off and shape the rest of the features myself, and then just do a walkthrough. And then once we have all the features shaped, we now kind of start playing with UI elements. And we ideally we do this inside code, because at such a small team, having someone creating high fidelity mockups of the UI on Figma means that someone else is supposed to come and understand that vision and translate it into code. We do not do that here. If you're a designer, you need to learn how to code, front-end code at least, so that you can take your design from design to code. And then now someone from the backend can help you link it together to create a full feature. And then someone from the AI team can kind of give you insights on how to pipeline AI into that thing if it is needed in that particular project. But ideally, the people who are designing are the same people who are implementing the front end. And in this case, Fred does not, he's new to the world of development, but in a month's time, he'll be able to like get into React code and ship React code. Now, there's a tool, I'll tell you about that tomorrow, man, nimechoka. But there's a really tool, like you see how we have like stuff for vibe coding. There's a tool that helps you vibe design. So I guess I'll use that when I'm doing the design process. Especially it works really nicely if you're able to like load up your components into, so you see the Figma stuff that Fred is doing. There was a Figma, I'm falling asleep. I'm literally falling asleep. There's some Figma stuff that Fred had done in terms of like components and like the design system. So if you have that, you can load that into that tool, and then now you can drag and drop and like kind of make UIs, and then it spits out React code, functional React code. So it's a really cool tool. And then now on that was because they built this tool pre-AI. So they already have that built in. But now with AI, you're able to chat with that interface. You're able to tell it, make this spicier, and then it's able to use your components to kind of make it spicier. Or you're able to you tell it, I want there to be 2 buttons and and it goes and grabs your components and is able to generate that UI. So it's a really, really cool tool, and I'll be walking through it the next time. So thank you for tuning in. I'm seeing we have about 36 viewers. That's crazy, honestly, because on the YouTube stream we had like 7 people. So if you've come this far, if you just say hi on the chat, I'll really appreciate it. Yeah, and we can see each other on Thursday, because tomorrow, if you know, you know. Yeah, I don't want to be abducted. Yeah. So tomorrow we're doing the thing, and then Thursday, hopefully, we are safe and we've come back, and we're able to continue with the work that is building this company. Yeah. So we build our country, and then we can build the company. Amen. Amen. Wadhani agosho tena. So I'm learning Kikuyu right now. I'm Kikuyu, and I've never been able to talk Kikuyu for shit, because we were born into a colonial education system where you're forced to speak English and you're punished if you speak anything else, and I hate it. But now I'm slowly learning with Kikuyu and practicing talking Kikuyu at home with my family. The members of my family who know Kikuyu, that is my mother, my father, and my eldest brother and his wife. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Najua hamtaki kutuma comments. Ni sawa. We shall call it a night. I will see you on Thursday. Yeah, yeah. And let's fight. Let's make sure this country is ours. Bye.